This elusive concept is at the heart of Brian Tracy's book, Eat That Frog. So, why a frog, you may wonder? Well, it's a metaphor for your biggest, most daunting task, the one you're most likely to procrastinate on. If you can conquer that task first thing in the morning, just imagine the productivity you could unlock for the rest of your day. The book promises to provide solutions to this productivity paradox, offering practical strategies to stop procrastinating, get more done in less time, and achieve your goals. So, are you ready to break free from the shackles of procrastination and unlock your productivity potential? Let's dive into the world of Eat That Frog. Imagine a plate full of frogs. Not a pleasant sight, right? But what if one of those frogs could unlock your productivity potential? Now, let's dive into the heart of Brian Tracy's book, Eat That Frog. The core concept is encapsulated in the metaphor of eating your biggest frog first. The frog here represents your most challenging task, the one you are likely to procrastinate on if you don't tackle it head-on. Why a frog, you might wonder? Well, it's because a frog is something you wouldn't want to eat, much like a daunting task you wouldn't want to do. And why the biggest frog? Because this task is typically the most important one, and also the one that can have the most significant impact on your life. Now imagine waking up and the first thing you do is eat this big, ugly frog. It's not easy, it's not pleasant, but once it's done, it's done. You've conquered your most challenging task, and everything else you have to do that day suddenly seems a lot more manageable. This approach has a profound psychological effect. By tackling your most challenging task first, you overcome the initial resistance and inertia. You face your fears, your anxieties, and your doubts head-on, and you come out victorious on the other side. It's a powerful boost to your confidence and self-esteem. Moreover, this method sets a positive tone for the rest of your day. You've achieved something significant right at the start, and this creates momentum. It generates a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction that carries you through the day, making you more productive and efficient in handling your other tasks. And let's not forget the practical aspect. By dealing with your most important task first, you ensure that it gets your best energy and focus. You're not yet worn out from other tasks, and you can give it your all. So the next time you're faced with a daunting task, remember the concept of eating your biggest frog first. It's a simple yet powerful principle that can transform your productivity levels and help you achieve more than you ever thought possible. By eating your biggest frog first, you start your day with a sense of achievement, which sets the tone for a productive day. Now that you understand the concept of eating your frog, you might be wondering, how do I actually do it? Well, let's dive into some practical tips from Brian Tracy's book on how to identify and eat your biggest frog. Firstly, identify your biggest frog. This is usually the task you're most likely to procrastinate on, but also the one that can have the greatest positive impact on your life. It could be a complex project at work, a difficult conversation you've been avoiding, or a personal goal you've been putting off. Once you've identified your frog, make it the first task you tackle each day. The key is to dive in without hesitation. As Mark Twain once said, if you eat a frog first thing in the morning, you know the worst is behind you. To maintain this habit, it's important to plan your day the night before. Write down your tasks, identify your frog, and then commit to eating it first thing in the morning. Also, don't forget to break your frog into smaller, manageable bites. Big tasks can be overwhelming, but if you break them down into smaller tasks, they become much more manageable. Lastly, don't be too hard on yourself. Remember, progress, not perfection, is the goal. If you slip up one day and don't eat your frog, don't beat yourself up. Just commit to getting back on track the next day. Remember, the key to productivity is not just about doing more, but about doing what matters most first. Productivity is not a destination, but a journey, and on this journey, your biggest frog is your greatest ally. Over the course of this exploration, we've learned to identify our most daunting tasks, our frogs, and tackle them head-on. Embracing these challenges, rather than avoiding them, leads to unparalleled productivity. By eating our frogs first thing, we set the tone for success throughout the rest of our day. So, Are you ready to eat your frog and unlock your productivity potential? The choice is yours.